Well, we certainly got a lot of hints from Elon today. Let's go down these and you tell me in the comments whether you agree with my analysis of these hints. Let's start with from charity underscore trades, just like it sounds. She says, I guess charity is a she, according to James Dalma, Elon slash Tesla can see up to 6 months ahead of what the public has access to. She means with regard to FSD. So if version 12.4 should indeed arguably be called version 13, according to Musk, he's likely seen a breakthrough. Elon Musk responds to this. He says, James is largely correct. We know roughly what the car will do in 3 to 6 months. When a more advanced AI model is trained, it will have several breakthroughs, but also dozens of bugs where it performs much worse. Takes a few months to fix those bugs and complete safety tests. Now, what we have to think about here is the tense. The tense is a little bit important. Probably doesn't matter all that much, but he says when a more advanced AI model is trained. So that could refer to the kind of when, meaning in general, when a more advanced AI model is trained, it will have several breakthroughs, but also dozens of bugs from which where it performs much worse. So that would mean we've already had the advanced AI model trained, had those breakthroughs, and now we're working through the bugs. It could mean when in the future a more advanced AI model is trained, it will have several breakthroughs, but also dozens of bugs where it performs much worse. And then it takes a few months to get these bugs figured out. So it could also mean both, or it could mean something else, but I think it has to be one of those two things. Let me know in the comments below what you think is meant by these. If you think it's obviously one or the other, as opposed to me wondering which one it is. And I am going to go, because I'm an optimist, I'm going to go with version 1, where it is that is already happened, and that's what he's talking about. All right. From Alex Avoit. It looks like there's a space there, but no underline. I'm not sure. Anyway, Alex, he says the Model Y is the best-selling BEV so far in April on all of Europe. Everyone claiming that Tesla has a demand problem disregards the facts. From several sources, apparently Tesla has gutted the new marketing team, gutted, and the leadership of that team. About 40 employees, maybe even 42 employees in all were part of the layoff announced last week. Not known is what strategy, if any, is replacing that group. But Elon is supposedly, this is what we're hearing, in charge of North American sales. So I'm expecting the unexpected. In a post on X responding to Bloomberg's report, Musk wrote of the content team's work. He said the ads were far too generic, could have been any car. U.S. News and World Report out today with their top picks for electric cars. Remarkably, the very best-selling cars in each category by a mile had 0 winners. So they had like 9 categories, and in the 9 categories, luxury SUV, luxury car, blah, 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 all these different categories. There was a winner for each category. Like, for instance, the electric truck that won was the Ford Lightning. But you could say, okay, I get it. Maybe, give the Ford Lightning, I don't know how, the win. But 9 out of 9, not a single Tesla, when Tesla is the leading electric car in every single category. Okay, Consumer Reports also had a report out today. It named Tesla the cheapest car to maintain over a 10-year period. So I guess that didn't matter to the people over at U.S. News and World Report, or the fact that Teslas are the safest cars on the road. Probably didn't care about the over-the-air updates, which keeps the car new years and years into the future. Anyway, who knows? Well, do you think the U.S. News and World Report might have been persuaded by advertising dollars? I don't know. According to Squawk Square. Now, I follow Squawk Square because theoretically he's very good trader, very good at, making decisions on buying and selling. I've watched his trades, and I don't watch him close enough to know if he's kidding us, but I think he's really making money. All right. But I don't like his analysis is commonly not great, but I just thought today I needed to report this one. He says, I know many of you think I despise Tesla. I don't. I love the company, the mission, the innovation it has, and I love the car. What I don't like is that Elon decided to start making decisions for himself and not what was in the best interest of the shareholders. Now, I'd like you guys to respond to that. No, seriously. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I think of what he just said, but I think you could probably do that already. You probably didn't need me to help you. Short term, Mr. Squawk Square, you might not think he's doing what's in the best interest of the shareholders. Long term, he's doing what's in the best interest of the shareholders. He doesn't care about day traders like you. Well, not in direct response to this, but Cern Basher, commonly found on this channel on Thursdays and sometimes Fridays or Saturdays or even Sundays. Anyway, Cern says this: when people say that Elon has lost all credibility, this makes me think that they're using the wrong word. He says, credibility's definition is the quality of being believable or worthy of trust. Elon has more credibility than any other CEO I can even think of, he says. Of course, no one can argue that the stock market is a real-time measure of credibility. Okay, he says, I can accept that. But over the longer term, it's not about how credible you think someone is, but how credible they prove to be. I like Elon's track record. It's really difficult to build a profitable auto company from zero, more than 10 billion in cumulative free cash flow since 2012, after first losing 10 billion. Many others have tried. How many have succeeded exactly? Well, and it's more than that. He's not stopping at building a profitable auto company. He's set out to change the world in ways that we can't even fully understand. So I think instead of saying that Elon has lost all credibility, what they really mean to say is, I misunderstand the epic opportunity presented before me, and the normal fluctuations in stock prices scare me. Look in the mirror. How is your credibility? When you bought the stock, is your thought process now consistent with what you were thinking back then? Did you say to yourself, I'm going to own the stock only if it doesn't go down or doesn't have a difficult quarter year? Has your thinking about the attractiveness of investing in a company like Tesla simply changed because the stock has gone up and down and you've lost money in the short term and on paper? Well, with all of that said, I thought we would take a look at a few estimates. These are the only ones I could find. Where's the list? There's supposed to be lots of people estimating. Where's everybody putting up their numbers? All right, here we go. These are non-GAAP EPS for quarter one, 2024. These would be Gary Black. Gary Black's 52 cents. The analyst consensus is 51 cents. So he's very close to the analyst consensus. James Stevenson is negative 2 cents. Let that sink in. And AJ is 57 cents. So a little grouping around the 50s and then all the way down to 02. Those are the only four I know. If you know more of them, would you put them in the comments? I'll report those in the morning if I see more. All right, let's see. This is from Black Model 3. That's the BLK MDL3 is how you can find them. All right. My first two drives with FSD 12.3.5. That's really why I reported on this. I don't care what he thought of it. I'm kidding. Anyway, hey, that means we're going to get 12.3.5 fairly soon. Probably won't matter to me because my car will be in the garage. Well, my wife and I travel around northeastern United States and southeastern Canada. Okay. He says the first two drives went pretty well, both with 0 disengagements. But he says so far this build is definitely slower than the last one. I wonder if he had it in chill mode and forgot to make sure he was in a more aggressive mode. Anyway, definitely slower. Not sure if it's just being cautious the first few drives, but it was slower than before. The lane dancing is fixed. Once it puts its signal on, it commits. It's creeping more confidently also. than 12.3.4 and seems to make decisions quicker. Sometimes it's hard to tell if FSD is being slow or it's me. We California drivers are just impatient. Let's see how the next few drives go. This from Alex underscore avoid AVOIGT. All right, the Model Y is the best-selling BEV. Oh, I said that right, didn't I? I think I've already done that one. How did it get in there twice? Did you do it? Was it your fault? What will happen tomorrow? Well, I got it today, right? I mean, I'm on a roll. Might as well try for two in a row. So I'm saying tomorrow that Tesla will trade sideways with two exceptional possibilities. One would be that there's news that we don't know yet. You have to always take that in consideration when anybody makes an estimate, including you. There could always be news that there's no way we could know. It's kind of like you're watching that mystery movie and you're like trying to guess who did it. And all of a sudden they give you a piece of information in the last 1 minute. And you're going, well, if you told me that, I would have had a chance. It's just not fair. Okay, so if I know the news ahead of time, I can make a better conclusion, but that's why they call it news. All right, Tesla sideways tomorrow, sideways during the day, absent any big news. Or the other thing would be that people figure out what we talked about at the top of the show about how tomorrow about how FSD, what I took away from those little notes that we discussed was that Elon has it. He's got it done. He knows it's done. It's just all a matter now of fixing these minor issues he was talking about. And 3 to 6 months, well, 4 months fits nicely into that category. So maybe people will figure that out, and that could create a pop tomorrow. I don't know. I kind of doubt it. Anyway, if investors got that meeting, yeah, we might see something. All right, let's take a look at the markets. Sorry, let me grab my phone here. We have got Tesla after being down today, as we had expected. Elon just posted rather. He responded, major milestone, and he responded, I don't know, this might not be important. I just need to tell it. So I'm reading it as I see it. Last Tuesday night, battery storage became the largest source of supply to the California grid for the first time, discharging over 6 gigawatts of renewable. Okay, we had already reported that the other day. That's not news, but Elon is now reporting that it is a major milestone. All right, let's now look at Tesla today. We had Tesla down $5 exactly to 142.05. And in the aftermarket, after hours, it went down another 0.60, it went down 60 cents, I'm sorry. Okay, and then we had the Dow went up 253, NASDAQ up 169, and the S&P up 43, and the entire Mag 7 were up except for Tesla by the end of the day, although some of them are off a bit in the after hours. The Cathie Woods were also all up today. And by the way, most of them tailed off at the end. We're heading down at the very end of the day. So not finishing, nothing was finishing near highs. The Dow Jones that had been up a lot more came down to finish it up to 53. So a lot of bargain hunting. Kind of said that on Friday. I thought there was probably not going to be probably a real good chance for bargain hunting the beginning of the week. I think there's a real good chance that the PCE comes in not so good. And by the end of the week, we are pushing towards that 10% off the highs. That's going to continue to be my philosophy, my theory of what's going to happen. All right, even though I think that the earnings will be fine for Apple and Meta and I forget, is it Amazon? Anyway, three of the folks that are going to be reporting. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the bonds. We've got the bonds at down 0.6 of a basis point in the after hours at 4617. So pretty close, right in the range that it's been. It was up a little, I think, during the day. Now down a little in the pre-market. 2-year up one tenth of a basis point, 4972. And the 2-month up 3.5 basis points in the pre-market. That's pretty strong given that the 10-year is down. So that makes the spread is starting to move outward again to a little over 80 basis points. So it's been around 70, 75. So that is picking up a little bit. Don't know again, but all that they will write history about this. You are going through this with me as history is being made on this whole inversion business. It will be talked about for years and years to come. All right, let's look at oil. We have oil sitting at 82.32, up in the pre-market, 87.39 for Brent. So both in the same trading range after it came off the 90. Natural gas up a little bit in the pre-market, 179. So heading back towards that $2. We've got gold dropping a little bit in the pre-market, 2,344, way off of its, I think I got to 24.10, something like that. We've got copper down, up a teeny bit, call it even, but still sitting at 448. Again, about 27 cents away from all-time highs. The dollar high, but flat in the high all day, but flat in the pre-market. And the the Bitcoin up 2,448 for the day at 67,151. Well, now we're starting to see that volatility that was promised after the halving. We have got the equities, the Dow up 28 or 0.07%, S&P up 0.25, 0% in terms of, so the 0.25 is essentially zero, and the futures down 22, that's 0.13%. All right, so that is everything there is to tell. I will be back in the morning. I'm going to be doing the video very early in the morning because of my travel plans. So it will not be we will not get the opening of what's going on. All I'm going to be able to do is give you the overnight news. I'll be able to give you what's happening in the early morning pre-market on all of the normal things. But I will tomorrow morning. I will not be able to give you the actual how the market opens. So we can't call it after the bell tomorrow. I'll call it before the bell. How about that? And then I think we'll have a video later in the day from Brian White. I might put that off to Wednesday. Not sure. It's already recorded, but I'm not sure. That needs a little bit of work. I'm not sure I'm gonna have time. And then what we will have is right after the market closes or within let's call it 2:30, by 4:30, I should publish my analysis of what took place. I hope to have somebody with me to work on that analysis, but one of my competitors, somebody who I love dearly, has grabbed up all the talent. I needed to work much sooner. Anyway, go ahead and watch this first and then see how I do. See if I find some really cool stuff that he missed. Anyway, that's all I got for you. It's been great talking to you.